Have you ever wondered what's involved with making a YouTube video? Is it something I could do? And how would you go about it? What equipment would you need? Well, this video hopes to answer some of those questions. Come in, it's open! Hi, John. Thanks for letting me come over. I'm working on a video. I want to make a video about making a YouTube video. And I thought, I've never interviewed myself. And so can I interview us? You are goofy. Pull up a chair. Okay. Well, I'm a little bit nervous about this because I've never interviewed myself. So I don't know. You're looking pretty old today. Anyway. When did you make your first YouTube video? Oh, I remember it well. It was September 2020. Darlene and I were living at Kelly Greens. It's a golfing community just not far from here. We absolutely loved it there. I was on the marketing committee, and we wanted to modernize the communications and come into the digital world and the social media world. And I was given the charge of investigating YouTube, or what type of social media did we want to develop content. And YouTube was the way that we wanted to go, so I investigated the equipment and ordered the equipment and got everything set up, software and everything. And but then we didn't have anybody to run it. So I ended up learning a little bit about YouTube, and the very first video I shot was called Location, Location, Location in September 2020. And it was me telling about this place we lived, which I loved. We lived there for 7 years. And since then I've made well over 150 YouTube videos. And the purpose has kind of changed. It's become a hobby now. So that's how I got started. So what was your motivation? I mean, why do you make them? So what was my motivation? Oh yeah, well that's different. My career background is radio broadcasting, so I've done a lot of interviews, and I find everybody's got a story. And so if I find somebody that's interesting, or a hobby that's interesting, or somebody that's exceptional at something and want to help teach others how to do it, you know, you see a lot of YouTube videos that are how-to. And so that's the motivation, is just creating content that has motion picture and sound. How do you choose your subjects? Well, choosing my subjects, I kind of touched on that. I'm just looking for something that I would find interesting, or my friends would find interesting, or the place where I live, whether it's a golfing community or a life plan community. Sometimes I feel like a little television reporter, you know, going to go report on this or report on that. The subject can be anything that I want to do. Sometimes I'll ask other people, hey, got any ideas of a video I might consider doing? How long does it take to make a YouTube video? Well, that can vary a lot. I would say a typical video for me as a hobbyist would be, I'm probably going to have about 1 hour involved in the actual shooting of the film. See, I'm old, so I still call it film. I don't call it a digital recording or whatever. It's a recording. But the editing part for me is as much fun as the recording. And that's, you know, deciding what you're going to use from the raw footage that you have. For me, that's the most fun, actually, is the editing. And that can take multiple hours depending on how complicated you want to get. But that's part of the fun. It's a hobby. Can you show me what the editing looks like? This sounds like fun. I can show you what the editing looks like. So just come on around. Come on around. All right, so this is the camera I use. It's a Sony AX53. It's 4K, so it shoots, you know, really high pixels. And this is what I see when I'm shooting. And one of the things I really like about this camera is the lens. It's called a gimbal lens. And as I move the camera up, down, and around, the lens stays on the subject. And that helps keep the shots steady. And then what I do when I'm done shooting is I take the memory stick out of here and I put it in my computer and we edit. Hi, welcome to my video software. So this is, oh, by the way, on that last clip, you may have noticed the quality wasn't quite the same, the sound wasn't the same. That's because I shot that on my smartphone so that I could show you the camcorder that I normally use, which we're back on now. As soon as I download that raw footage from the camera, I make little notes on the ones that I want to keep, and they're all assigned a number by the camera when it's created, and I just make a little note so that I can reference it and find where I want to go. And this is what it looks like. This is the video I'm currently working on. And up here are the selections of the different things I can do. So right now it's in the media. Everything that I've downloaded is in here. Go to my mouse so I can show you that I can scan down. And each one I can see the numbers, so I just grab something and drag it down and drop it in the box, and we're ready to go. You'll see that it lights up when I do that. That's so that if I double click, I can now adjust color, audio, opacity, speed, fade in, fade out, animation, chrome key, bunch of stuff. And on this one I can change the contrast, the brightness, which I do often. If I'm in a low light situation, and I can sharpen it, I can even enlarge it or decrease it in size. So lots of things you can do there when you light it up. I can even expand it so that it's easier to work on. That's this one here. See, then I've got more room to slide things in and change adjustments. All right, and then I've got music selections, no shortage of background music, text, the way you bring text in. And an example of that would be at the very beginning. I've got a lot of text as part of the introduction here. See, that's what we mean by text. Transitions is the way that you go from one to another. When you're changing clips, sometimes I don't want any and just let it happen fast, but sometimes I want some type of a transition. Special effects can be added, something called stickers, which are little fun things that you can pop into your video if you want. Templates, if you want to borrow somebody's idea and use it to build your video on. I've never used it, but it's nice to be there. And the store, which you can go and buy things that will really make your video look a lot fancier. I haven't had a need for that either. There's a whole row of extra things that you can do here. Scissors for cutting and clipping and cropping and all that stuff. Record button for voiceovers. On this particular video, I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 6 text tracks, 1 picture-in-picture track. This is the main track, and I've got the transition track, and I've got 3 audio tracks for music and voiceovers. And that's basically it. It's pretty simple, yet complicated. A lot of fun to do creative stuff. Let the artist in you come out. So, how do YouTube videos spread through the internet? How does it spread? Well, okay. I brought up my YouTube channel, Adventures of an Old Man, and it starts right off with some of my recent videos. But YouTube is owned by Google, and Google is the largest search engine in the world. And YouTube is the largest social media outlet in the world. Do you know that on YouTube, 500 hours of video content is uploaded onto YouTube every minute? 500 hours in every minute. It's in 75 countries. It's huge. And Google is huge. So anytime anybody watches a YouTube video, I did one here of the Art Fest, I'll click it to show you. This was a Fort Myers Art Fest. And Any video you open, you'll see down the right-hand side suggestions of other videos you might like that have similar content. And so, and this goes on literally forever. So people they just start watching it. So that's probably the biggest single way somebody finds a YouTube video, is from searching. But also when you upload to YouTube, you're creating a link, and anybody that has that link can view it. And you can attach that link to an email and send it, or include it in an email. So you can have a huge amount of video that normally you couldn't send by email, but because it's in a link that you're accessing through the internet, that's basically in the cloud, anybody with the link can watch it. So that's basically the way it spreads. So when you're on the home page, you see the last 12 or the 12 most recent YouTubes that this channel has posted. You also see the most popular ones that have the most views. In other words, I've got one here that I did with a golf pro when we lived at Kelly Green's. Oh, look, YouTube likes it too. They tacked a commercial in the front of it. I don't get any of that money, but that's how they make theirs. And on this particular video, it says it has had 21,428 views. That's a lot of views. And it says that I have 1,710 subscribers to my channel, which is kind of nice. I usually tell people that are new to the channel that after they open to the channel, click where it says videos. And if you click that one, it'll bring up every video that's on the channel. I think in my case, there's like 153 of them there. And one of my all-time favorite, check it out, Ryer's Horse Farm. Darlene and I visited this place last summer, and it's so unique. And you get such a look at it. Take a look at it, Ryer's Horse Farm. But anyway, that's the best brief explanation I can give on how your videos spread. So, how old were you when you kissed your first girl? That has nothing to do with YouTube. Come on. What's it like living with Darlene? Oh my, that's an experience. I oftentimes tell Darlene the 3 things that every woman wants to hear. The 3 things every woman wants to hear is, you were right, I was wrong, I'm sorry. It works wonders. Seriously though, life with Darlene is grand. Can't imagine it without her. She's adventurous, and so am I. How does it feel to interview yourself? Well, first of all, you know what the questions are going to be before you do the interview. That's different. Well, okay, I thank you for this. This has been so much fun, really, so much fun. Can we do it again? I really want to do it again. You've got to be kidding. You didn't have as much fun as I did? You've got to be kidding. You've got to be Mom kidding. Always liked you best. Well, of course she did. Now, you take care of yourself there, alter ego. Be careful. Well, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy it. And remember, if you go up here and click on videos, it'll bring up every video I've ever made. Everybody's got a story. So have fun, have a good day, and thanks for watching.